So, Season 7's in less than a month. And I clearly still haven't gotten over Stannis. How's it going, everybody? It's Rice Duke, back yet again to bring you another video. And today, this is kind of a filler, kind of discussion video, where I'm going to be talking about the saddest moments in Game of Thrones. Of course, I'm going to keep this to TV series only, because the books and show are way different, as we know. If you're a fan of the books, you definitely know that the show has gone way off book. I've talked about it in my reviews. I've expressed my disappointments, but of course, I still love the show. Who doesn't love the show? And Game of Thrones is known to be really sad at times. Like, a lot of people die, a lot of bad things happen to people. So, I figured, why not talk about the saddest moments in the series? Yesterday, I was looking back at the Red Wedding. I was rewatching a bit of Season 3, and I was thinking, like, damn, that was some heavy shit. Like, Robb dying, Talisa dying, pregnant Talisa who got stabbed, with their baby got stabbed, and Catelyn dying, Grey Wind dying, the whole Stark army just dying at, like, a seemingly happy wedding. That's some really hardcore stuff. I know everyone talks about how bad the Red Wedding was, but goddamn, that was so fucked up. Anyways, guys, let's talk about some of the other sad moments in the series. And off the top of my head, I'm thinking, yeah, Shireen's death was up there. Like, they definitely did butcher Stannis in that episode, Season 5, Episode 9. And burning Shireen, man, that was really bad. Like, hearing her screams when watching that episode, like, for the second time, it was horrifying. Like, Shireen was one of the most sweetest and nice characters in the series, just a sweet little girl, and Davos loved her, and she thought she loved her father as well, and like in Season 5 we saw that their relationship was really strong together. Stannis said he loved her, but her mother, Selyse, was a bit of a crazy fanatic, and eventually Stannis became a fanatic too because of Melisandre's manipulation. And then we just see her die, get burnt like that, sacrificed. Stannis sacrifices his own daughter to save the North. He sacrificed what he loved most to save the realm. People call him evil for it. I think it's noble, but it's very sad at the same time. It's like, this is what it takes. This is the extreme measures it takes. The sacrifice it takes to save the North and save the realm from the Boltons, which ultimately failed in the end, which makes Shireen's sacrifice even more sad. Like Davos said in Season 6, they all died anyways. Like, Shireen really died for nothing. Such a sweet, innocent character, and just mercilessly killed by Melisandre. And the terrifying screams, like, that was some heavy stuff. And the music, I remember the score when listening to that, it was really sad. Shireen's burning will always be up there for sure. Another one I could think of is Ned's death, Ned Stark's death back in Season 1, Episode 9, Baelor. That was pretty heavy-handed too. That was like one of the moments that taught us that Game of Thrones is not our traditional series where the main characters live and have plot armor and survive through anything and survive to the very end of the series. That's the episode that taught us that, no, it's not like that. And it was kind of like really dramatic for everybody first watching that. They're just like, oh, okay, this is some heavy stuff. Ned Stark, the main character, just died. He's, what now? Like, how is this one supposed to feel? One who's not, like, been exposed to this type of series before, like, seeing their beloved main character just die suddenly. It's like, what? And just the way it kind of happens is really sad too, because Joffrey's so merciless with it, and you see Sansa screaming. Hell, even Cersei didn't want Ned to die. Like, you can see in the scene, Cersei's like begging Joffrey, don't kill him. Like, she wanted to just send him to the wall or something. Varys is trying to get it to stop because he wanted to use Ned. Ned had so much potential, and he even had to, like, lie in front of all of King's Landing and admit that Joffrey was the true king just to protect Sansa. And then we see Arya watching Ned die, and, like, his final last moments, the really tense scene where he's, like, looking off into the distance, the music, it's all slow. It's really sad, and you're just like, damn. Like, everyone loved Ned as a character. Sean Bean was an excellent actor, and, like, Ned was a great character. We all loved Ned. I can think everybody in the series, like, I mean, all the fans, every one of the fans of Game of Thrones can agree, Ned is one of the best characters, and we all love Ned. No, I can't say anyone doesn't like Ned. Ned's amazing, and seeing him go like that early in the series is like, it was devastating to everyone, but it kind of got us prepared for what's to come. And what came later kind of didn't really help us, but it was sad. I'm really gonna miss Ned. I still miss Ned. It was mostly Sean Bean. I think seeing Sean Bean on the screen was really what helped me love Ned more in the series, because, like, Sean Bean is probably my favorite actor. Like, watching him in series like Lord of the Rings and GoldenEye, and I think he's in a few other movies. I can't remember, but I've seen a lot of stuff with Sean Bean, and I just don't remember exactly which movies and series they were. And it's just seeing him go like that, and it was sad. What can I say? I love Ned. Everyone loved Ned. Other sad moments, of course, like I said at the beginning of the video, the Red Wedding. That shit was really devastating. That was probably one of the biggest, if not like the most extreme plot twist in the history of Game of Thrones, but not only Game of Thrones, but in fiction in general. Like, seeing that many main characters die, like they have so much potential. Robb's gonna go attack Casterly Rock. He's getting an alliance with the Freys. All the Northern Army, they're all together, ready for the alliance. They're all happy. Robb's happy with Talisa, like she's gonna name her unborn child Ned. They're all happy. Like bygones are bygones because Robb repealed his marriage deal because he obviously broke the alliance with Walder Frey, saying he'd marry his daughters, and then he made up for it through Edmure marrying Rosalind. And we think everything's alright. It's like, yeah, everyone's good. All the problems are swept down, like, under the rug. It's all good now. We're finally going to see the Lannisters defeated. We're going to see the Starks back together. Arya was coming to the twins. Like, we see Arya and the Hound going. We're going to see Arya's finally going to be reunited with Robb and Catelyn and her whole family, and they're all going to go defeat the Lannisters together. It didn't work like that, did it? We got devastated. That was really devastating. Like, my God, like just the moment it happens where Talisa gets stabbed in the stomach, and then everyone gets shot. The whole army's being slaughtered, and then we see Grey Wind get shot outside. That was sad. Like just seeing Grey Wind dying, and like his final screams, and Arya sees it, and then she has to be taken out by the Hound. It was really sad, and then. At the aftermath, before Robb and Catelyn die, like the final moments where Robb's like clutching Talisa's stomach, her dead body, and like he's just looking at it. He's just he has no words. He was done. Like Catelyn wanted to try to fix things and try to get Robb to escape, and Robb's just like, no, there's nothing out there for me. My whole army's done. My whole army's dead. My wife is dead. My unborn child has been killed. There's nothing left for him, and he was ready to die at that point. And when Roose Bolton comes over to him, stabs him, it's just like he's no hesitation. He's just like, I'm ready to die. And then Catelyn, like her screams when Robb gets stabbed. She's just like terrifying screams. She kills Walder Frey's wife, and then she just stands there. She's just so much in shock and there's so much devastation. She gets her throat slit, and the episode ends. There wasn't even music in the credits because they knew that shit was devastating. George R. R. Martin knew that was devastating when he wrote it for A Storm of Swords. He wrote that chapter last. He wrote all the other chapters before and then went back and wrote The Red Wedding because he was devastated himself, killing off his own characters. And honestly, it was even worse than the show. I think it was worse than the show because Talisa is not in the books. Robb married Jane Westerling, who was not at the wedding, and she was not pregnant, but they added that in the show to have Robb's wife be pregnant and die at the wedding, just making it so much more devastating. People can agree, the Red Wedding is probably one of the most monumental, most shocking twists, most devastating, most sad moments in the history of, like, anything. Like, people will always remember the Red Wedding. It's an iconic moment in the series. It defined what Game of Thrones is. It was terrible. It really was. And I'll never forget it. I'll rewatch it all the time. It's just a masterwork of writing. It's just so much good development, and it just finally gets paid off in the most devastating manner. And it's not in a badly written way. It's just so complex, but it makes sense at the same time, and you just appreciate that type of writing. It's like non-traditional. You never see this in any type of fiction. Well, maybe in Shakespeare. You do see that stuff in Shakespeare where the main characters all die. In the end, you never see stuff like that anymore. Like, all the main characters, like, live to the end. Every main character has plot armor or something. And that's just, seeing something so unorthodox like that, people appreciate it, no matter how sad it was. It was terrible. Thinking back, other sad moments in the series, Hodor's death in Season 6. That was really sad. Like, it was very exciting and very an intense scene. It was very suspenseful, the hold the door moment. From Season 6, the best written moment of Season 6 by far, above anything else, because I think Season 6 was badly written, but that wasn't, because obviously George R. R. Martin came up with that and told David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, and they kind of incorporated that into Season 6. Just seeing, like, Hodor, like, knowing his whole life, he like, died for Bran, and, like, Hodor meant hold the door, and he's, like, his whole life was ruined by that, and, like, it's just such a sad existence that he had to live, and he was such another character everyone can agree that they liked. Hodor, he was just like Shireen, no mean bone in his body. He was always helping everybody out, carrying Bran around. He always like was smiling, always willing to help. He's just so kind giant. And then just to see him die and sacrifice himself for his friends, he's torn apart. And like I remember the music in that scene. Oh god, that was bad. I did not see that coming. That was like the most unpredictable thing in Season 6. Season 6 was very, very, very predictable, and I called so many things. But that, no one could call that. That took everyone by surprise. That was a masterwork of writing, again. And that makes me hate Season 6 a little bit less than I do. It was Hodor's death. Hold the door. And everyone still talks about it to this day. It's another iconic moment from the series. It's a Red Wedding level twist. Other sad moments I can think about. Jon Snow's death was a little bit sad. It was just more of a shocking sort of like, oh crap, Jon Snow just got killed, betrayed by the Night's Watch. It was kind of predictable. People saw it coming. And it was a little bit sad, like when Ollie stabs him and Jon just lying in the snow and they got the Stark theme playing. That's kind of sad. I guess that part was a little bit sad, but I didn't really find it that sad because it was just sort of like, oh crap, Jon Snow's dying. And everyone knew he was coming back anyways, so no one really got too bent out of shape for it. Other sad moments, maybe Maester Luwin's death in Season 2, if you guys remember, the old Maester of Winterfell, who was always helping out with Bran and Rickon, and back at the end of Season 2, when Winterfell gets torched by the Boltons after Theon gets knocked out, and then they find Luwin stabbed in the Godswood, and they have to leave him behind. I thought that was a bit sad. That was kind of a sad moment. But other than that, I don't really think there's much sad moments in the series. The Cersei blowing up the Sept of Baelor wasn't sad. It was just more of the exciting sort of, yeah, cool moments. Very shocking, yes, very awesome sort of Game of Thrones-y moment, but it wasn't sad. I didn't really care about Marjorie. I didn't care about Loras, Mace Tyrell, any of the Sparrows. I wasn't really like attached to any of those characters, and their deaths, they weren't directed as to be played off as sad and tragic. It was just sort of a shocking, like sort of, ooh, this happened sort of thing, sort of an exciting, intense moment. Other than that, I pretty much think I've covered all of it, guys. The saddest moments in Game of Thrones, the most tragic and devastating moments in the series. I probably missed out a few, but that's honestly because I don't really get saddened by this series. Maybe Stannis' death was a bit sad, only because I liked him so much as a character. It wasn't really played that off to be sad in the show. It was more supposed to be like, okay, this guy's done. His campaign's over. No need to feel sad for him. He's a guilty piece of shit. Even though I love Stannis till the end, even though he burned Shireen, like you can justify that in a way. As fucked up as it was, you can still justify Stannis doing that. And I was sad when he went. I was more of like angry really because I love Stannis so much. I know I'm kissing Stannis' ass too much. I do that too much, but that's pretty much the gig with this channel. I'll stop talking about him eventually. He's still alive in the books. But yeah, but that's besides the point. Point is that, yeah, Game of Thrones is a sad series. A lot of heavy shit and a lot of tragic stuff. And I think that's what makes it so good, is like all the tragedy that we see in it. But yeah, anyways guys, thanks for watching. As always, just random discussion video, filler video to make up for time until Season 7 starts, where I'm going to be doing my regular reviews as usual. So yeah, see you later guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. It'll really help out. I'm Rice Duke, and I'll see you guys next time.